Michelle here with the Traveling Epicurean. Today's menu is all about perfectly chocolate cake and perfectly chocolate frosting. You're not going to believe how simple it is to make this delicious cake. Let me show you what we're going to need to get this going. This is what we're going to need to make our perfectly chocolate cake. This is a Hershey's cocoa chocolate cake. Leave it to Hershey's to come up with the perfect homemade chocolate cake that's going to be the best cake you've ever had. Cocoa, sugar, flour, whole milk, vegetable oil, salt, baking soda and baking powder, pure extract vanilla, 2 eggs. We are going to mix the dry ingredients in this bowl and then add the wet and 1 cup of boiling water, and that gets us off to a start. You're going to be amazed at how incredible this homemade chocolate cake is. I'm really excited to give you this recipe today because I've been making this chocolate cake for about 20 years. It's absolutely delicious and so simple. 2 baker ladies referred me to this Hershey cocoa recipe. It's right on the back of the canister. It says perfectly chocolate cake, and right below that it says perfectly chocolate frosting. And let me tell you, you will be so happy that you found this recipe too, because it takes the same amount of time as if you were to make a box recipe than to make this recipe, and it is so much better. So first we're going to start with a tablespoon of butter, and we're going to grease and flour the pans. It's very simple. I just use a paper towel, smear the butter around. I do it to each of the pans, and then we're going to dust some flour in there. Just like that. Sprinkle a little flour, and then I just tap it over the other pan so the excess falls into that one. Just like that. And we're going to be bringing this cake to my son's tennis tournament. He and his team made it to sectionals, so we're very excited about that. And they're going to love this cake because I'm also going to have their team picture printed out and placed on top of the cake. So it's going to be really special. They worked so hard for this, so we're really excited about going to sectionals. All right, so those are floured. Now I'm going to mix the dry ingredients in the bowl, get the wet ingredients, add that to the dry ingredients. I'm just going to mix it with a hand mixer. That's how easy this is. Just using a hand mixer for 2 minutes. I'm going to add a cup of boiling water, and then I'm just going to stir it with a spatula, pour it into the pans, and then we're going to pop it in the oven, and it's going to be done in 30 minutes. Unbelievably easy, right? Flour. Put in our cocoa, our sugar, all the dry ingredients go in. We're going to do a teaspoon of salt. Then we need a teaspoon and a half of baking soda. There's 1. You know, so many recipes I see, they have you melt the chocolate, they have you do all these extra steps. The cake is fine and all, but it always seems a little bit too heavy for me. This has such a moist texture, yet it's chocolatey. It's not too heavy and very dense. It's just perfect. And I think that the name perfectly chocolate cake is perfect for this cake. All right, so we're just going to whisk this. Very simple. And then we're going to start adding in our wet ingredients. Finish whisking so it's all combined. I'm going to add in the eggs, which I cracked into a bowl because you want to make sure you don't have any shells in there. And then I'm going to add the vegetable oil and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I love this pure vanilla. I like how they add 2 teaspoons in here. A little extra vanilla flavor. It makes it taste really rich. 1, 2. Look how pretty it is already. All right. Just with a simple handheld mixer, we are going to mix this for 2 minutes. I'm going to turn the bowl. All right. I'm going to get a spatula and I'm going to scrape down the sides, give it 5 more seconds, and then I'm going to add some boiling water. Look how delicious and chocolatey this is already looking. Oh my goodness. All right, so I scraped down the sides. I'm going to mix this for just 5 more seconds. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to take these out. I'm going to pour in 1 cup of boiling water. You know, you're going to think the batter is too thin, but it is not. It's going to be great. You just have to give it a stir. You do not want to put the mixer on again because the water will go flying. So all you need to do is just stir it until it all gets evenly combined again. And then we're going to pour it into the pans and pop it in that oven. You know, it says 30 to 35 minutes. I usually go with the 30 minutes. And it comes out really nice that way. So I have our beautiful batter. And I'm just going to eyeball it and I'm going to pour it into the 2 pans here. And I'm going to make sure to use my spatula and get all of it out. Go back and forth a little bit, making sure they're even. They look absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to get these into the oven now. So this is what we're going to need to make that perfectly chocolate frosting that goes with our Hershey's cake. We have the Hershey's cocoa. So we have about 3 cups of confectioner sugar. We have 2/3 of a cup of cocoa, a whole stick of butter, and about 1/3 cup of milk, whole milk. So we have the melted butter there, and then I'm going to start to add in the cocoa, our vanilla. I'm going to whisk that, and then we're going to start to use our mixer here, and I'm going to start to alternate the milk and the confectioner sugar. So we have our cocoa here. I'm going to add in our teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'm just going to whisk this first just to get it mixed, the butter and the cocoa. Just like that. See how smooth that is? The butter is a little bit warm, so it's melted the cocoa to get us off to a nice start. That looks really beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, and now we're going to start to add in our sugar. So, like I said, we're going to alternate. We're going to put in a little drizzle of milk, and I'm just going to start to spoon in about 1/4 cup at a time of our confectioner sugar, and then I'm just going to start to use our mixer and start to and look at that beautiful texture. And making this frosting, I feel that using the handheld mixer does a better job than my KitchenAid, because it really gets any lumps that are in there while I'm making the frosting. This part is up to you. Make it how thick you want it. And I may even, because I feel that this might be a little bit too thin, I'm going to add in a little bit more confectioner sugar. And then that'll do it. So maybe I'll add in about another 1/2 cup, and then we'll be finished. And then we're going to let these cakes finish cooling, and we're going to decorate these beautiful cakes. Riley, Bella, do you want the mixer with all the frosting on them? Yeah. I thought so. All right, come and get them. And just begin to smear a good layer of that right across the cake. Just moving it back and forth. Just want to keep it even, a little bit out to the edges, like so, and I'll probably turn it to make it easier for me. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, remember it's the middle layer. Alright, so that looks lovely. Okay, and now I'm going to take this other half and I'm going to flip it over. So we have the flat side here because I want a flat top, and I'm going to lay it right on top. This looks really gorgeous. Oh my goodness. All right. So then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just put most of it right on top there. It's better to start with a lot because then you won't pick up the crumbs from the cake. And then we'll start to spread it around. Same as the center. And I'm gonna actually even push down on the cake and make sure that it's even. That's looking really beautiful. The way I like to do it, you know, I think many people have different ways of how they get comfortable frosting a cake. I like to put most of it on the top, and then I bring it over to the sides, just like that. And then I go around the sides. So I push over and then run my spatula along the side. I'm going to keep a pretty clean look. If you wanted like that grandma cake look with all the scallops, just use the back of a spoon and you can do those cute little swirls. I have the top pretty smooth, and that's just going to be covered with that piece of fondant that has the team picture on it. And I'll swoop around and make one final smooth texture around the sides. It looks really pretty. Just like that. And it's such an easy cleanup with having this parchment on the side too. You're gonna love doing that. All right, that looks great. So remember how we were doing the other day at the beach? And you were throwing sand at the wall for art?
Yeah.
Can you throw a few of those on the side there for me?
Okay.
Make some art. Okay, excellent. You want to try it? Want to come over here and try?
Can I just eat them instead?
My cute little girl. You will be able to eat them when we go to bring this cake to sectionals. So just throw it. Isn't that fun? Perfect. So we are done with our perfectly chocolate cake and our perfectly chocolate frosting. And I got the yellow border around there to cover up the edge of the fondant when they laid it on top of the cake. It looks really pretty. This came out super nice. I can't wait for the kids to eat this cake. Alright, so we made it to sectionals. The cake made it to sectionals, even though my directions weren't great. But are you guys ready for cake?
Yeah!
Alright, cut the cake. Alright, she's like, Annie, I'm sorry, I'm coming right.
Annie's face gets put into first. Not my headband. That's my favorite part about my headband. You're cutting out. Guys, don't cut Sam. Can I cut Alex first? Team manager. I'm eating your head. Let's put Kaden doing without you. No.
Okay, found the second piece.
Oh, you got it. Who's eating me? Riley. Yes. Sorry.
Wait, can I take it?
Why are we allowed to first bite it?
How about you?
Time out. Can I say something? This is bomb cake.
She thinks it's a bomb
It is
cake.
a bomb cake. You know what else is bomb? My YouTube channel. I'm 100%
And Maddie has something else to say.
Oh, of course I do. If you want to find something more bomb than this cake, you should check out my YouTube channel. Links in the description.
Wow.
Look down below and you'll find her.
Start now.
Okay, so Bella, I'm really proud of you and Ella. You guys did such a great job today. You were troopers, and you
Did nothing.
sat through what, 9 hours of
Like 12 hours doing nothing. And Tyler, if you subscribe, you can help.
I'm sorry, Tyler, and Tyler too. Absolutely.
If you subscribe to the channel, you can help people like me go to Disney World instead of staying at boring matches. Subscribe.
to the channel.
Good segue. Give you some credit.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Wow. If you want to find this recipe, check out the travelingepicurean.com.
Ciao.